I think song and song lyrics have always held a fascination for me. I remember having LPs of Madonna in the 1980s, reading the song texts over and over and learning the songs and looking at how things fit together. I did once have an experience where a child grabbed a CD, liner notes out of my hand and said, "Stop reading that, it's not a book." And that's always stuck with me because I always have paid so much attention to the details inside recordings. The notes that go along with the recordings have always been really important to me. So my name's Dr Kirsty Gillespie. I'm Senior Curator in Anthropology, which is part of the Cultures and Histories program in the Queensland Museum. My position here is a joint position with James Cook University, so I spend a lot of my time here at the museum and some of my time at the Townsville campus of James Cook University. So this is one of the angklung that we have here in the collection. So angklung come in different sizes and different tones. I got into working in museums and with collections through my work with music. I had studied the music of the highlands of Papua New Guinea. When I came to the end of my doctoral research, I realised that I'd really focused on only one part of a country. Papua New Guinea is a very diverse country with more than 800 Indigenous languages, and with that a great diversity in musical practice as well. So I had the opportunity to go to the other end of the country, to New Ireland province, where the Lihir Island group are located. When I first started researching the music of Lihir, I was doing my own recordings of contemporary musical practice, but I was also reading the historical documents about Lihir, and I came across some documents that talked about recordings that had been made by Otto Schlagenhaufen in 1908 when he visited the Lihir Islands, and became very excited about the idea of getting those recordings and taking them to the Lihir people and playing them to them so they could be reconnected with their past. I've always been interested in community and working with community, so it's been fantastic over the last 10 or so years to be working with the Lihir Cultural Heritage Association. So I think in the past, anthropology, in a sense, it was the colonial gaze. So it was about the European looking at the other. That's the history of anthropology. In contemporary times, we're really conscious of that, and we're really looking at understanding culture in a different way. The collaborative approach is really the way to go. I'm engaged in looking at sound in Queensland now, particularly the sounds of the Torres Strait. There's been a lot of research and recordings on music in the Torres Strait, and we've been able to incorporate some of that into our Museum of Tropical Queensland display, Pearling in the Torres Strait. I've curated an 8-song playlist of Torres Strait songs that express the role and the history of pearling for Torres Strait Islanders. I think working with community, doing collaborative projects is really the way forward. It's important to me because it's my ethical approach. I'd like to see the museum become a place where everybody feels welcome and included, and where everybody feels that their culture is represented in some kind of way. We can somehow sort of tell a collective history, or people can feel, this is the history of who we are and what we do. And this, not only the history, but this is the these are the possibilities of who we can be.